Look at Wentworth back there. What are you doing, bud? He's listening to a podcast. If you guys know Rachel Hollis, that's what I'm listening to. Hello friends, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Becky from A Place to Nest and I have decided to team together today and kind of give you guys some tips on how to manage your house when you feel overwhelmed. I don't know, she came up with a fancy title, so that's the title of this video, but from what I remember us talking about, whoa, did you just fall? He did not. So I'm editing this video and realizing I didn't talk to you guys enough about how wonderful Becky is. I found her channel recently, just in the past few months, 5 or 6 months or so. She is Disney obsessed, so if you like Disney, even the smallest bit, if you're planning a trip to Disney, she's got videos and videos about like tips and tricks. She has been going for her entire life and she knows the ins and outs of Disney, I think more than anyone else that I've watched on YouTube. And she also does, oh my gosh, she's a homeschooling mom. Oh, she's a mom. Can I just say that? She has 2 kids and she homeschools. She's got superpowers. I wish I had like the smallest fraction of patience that she has. I'm working to getting there, okay? But she's very inspirational and I hope you check out her channel. So we talked about summertime and how during the summer maybe our house might be more of a disaster. And for me, my husband's out of town and I have to keep up with everything while he's out of town. I basically have 2 jobs if you count YouTube as a job. So I'm a busy mom and it's summertime and the kids are always here. So my house is in shambles. I will show you. Please don't judge me. This is like, we've had guests over, we've had visitors, everything is a mess. Obviously it's summertime, so my house has taken a backseat to pretty much everything. I have just been tidying and basically putting out fires around my house. Not actual fires, but you know, messes equates to fires. So I just wanted to share with you some of the tips that I use to deal when my house is of this state. Can anyone relate? Anyone? Because sometimes I watch YouTube videos and I'm like, can't relate, sorry. That's mom life. Sometimes there's a mess and sometimes your house is clean and that's when no one comes over, in my case anyway. Okay, obviously the goal here is to get a clean house because a clean house means a clear mind, and the very first step I take when I feel overwhelmed in the chaos is I like to keep to a routine. And my routine for me is going to the gym every morning and clearing my head and getting in the right mind space to like, I'm at peace, I can deal with it, you know what I mean? The second thing I do is come home and I make a list of everything I need to do, even if it's just a very broad list. Say like clean living room, clean dining room, and I list everything because it feels so good to be able to mark off my list at the end of the day. So I will say like dust and do dishes and throw a load of laundry in, fold a load of laundry, or you guys get the gist. Make a list of everything you need to do. That way it's set out in front of you, and I'm very visual. If you're visual, I'm sure you make a lot of lists as well, and that helps me be able to manage my time better because I can prioritize. If I have a list of things, I'm able to sit down and prioritize what needs to happen first. So for me, the very first things that I clean are high populated areas, I guess you would call them, areas in my home where a lot of people spend time. Or if someone were to come over, where would they see first? And usually that's living room, kitchen, and bathroom for me. Whoa, that's a lot of eggs. How many eggs are there?
3.
The girls just got eggs from the coop. Okay, so for me, that means divide and conquer. I like to take one room at a time. Does that mean divide and conquer? I divide my house up and then I conquer one space at a time. Not in my mind, that's what that means. Divide and conquer probably means multiple people cleaning multiple rooms at once, but I'm just one person, so how much can I do with these 2 hands of mine? When I'm feeling overwhelmed, I just take one room at a time and I prioritize and I do everything in that room except for the floors. If I'm gonna clean the floors, oh, crying baby. Lots of interruptions, that is mom life. So I think where I was at was explaining to you that I take one room at a time, one thing at a time. Oh, that's exactly where I was at, except for the floors, because if I'm gonna bring out the broom, I'm gonna sweep all of my floors that need to be swept. If I'm gonna bring out the vacuum, I'm gonna vacuum every room. Same thing with the mop, you feel me? But the floors are last. Another tip is to work from top to bottom. I'm sure you guys know this. It just makes it easier. And for me, summertime, we've had a lot of overnight guests, which means way more dust. Okay, more interruptions. I don't remember where does. Okay, you will be so surprised at how much dust collects around your home because it's summertime, like I've been saying 100 times. We've had, is there a duck in my pool? Oh my gosh, squirrel moment. Okay, sorry. Focus. All right, so like I was saying, it's summertime, blah, blah, and we've had so many guests, so many overnight guests, and you'll be so surprised at how much more dust your house accumulates when you have that many more people hanging out and shedding skin everywhere. So what I like to do is take my duster, my handy dandy duster, and dust from top to bottom. I even dust my walls. And this might be weird, and I don't even know where I got this crazy tool at. I've had it for years, but it's basically a Swiffer times 5. It's like 5 times as big as a Swiffer, and I just take it and I dust my walls, and you will be so surprised at how much dust collects on that cloth thing, okay? And then you'll be surprised / grossed out because you're like, oh, I've been living in this and breathing this in. That's what happens. Houses get dirty and you just clean them. It's a cycle. That's all it is. Another thing I like to do when I'm feeling overwhelmed and there are a lot of projects ahead of me is I like to enlist help. And the best help, maybe the best help, are my wonderful children. They're so good at cleaning, aren't they? Yes, they are, every day. And they always do what I ask, so that's an added bonus. What really helps me when I talk to my kids and talk them into helping me clean is we set a timer for 15 minutes and we just see how much we can get done in 15 minutes. That helps them realize, okay, it puts a time limit on it. It's not like, oh, we're cleaning, when is this gonna end? They know it's gonna end when the timer's off, and then I can thank them for their help and move along with my day. And you'll be so surprised at how much more gets done in just 15 minutes when you actually have more hands helping you. It doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes there are crying fits, sometimes there is yelling. But you know what? At the end of the day, even if they pick up one thing, that's one thing that you didn't have to pick up. You feel me? All right, I think those are all my tips, but the best tip I can give you is to declutter. You can do this while you're cleaning. You can take like 15 minutes in a day to do one section of your home at a time and just pick out just a few things that you know you're not going to use or haven't used in a while and donate them. I have a bunch of bags in my trunk that I do this very frequently. I go through, like my closet is a big one with clothes, the kids' closet, they're constantly growing out of things, their toys that I am sometimes sick of picking up, and I'm just like, oh, this is enough with the toys, you know. I'm constantly decluttering and getting rid of and donating or purging or throw it in the garbage can if I don't find a home for it. I'm constantly getting things out of my house if I feel overwhelmed in the clutter, because can I tell you, like for real, if there's a messy room, I can't focus on what I'm doing unless the room is clean. And Alex has a big problem with this. He's like, just sit down and relax. I'm like, I can't relax. Everything is a mess. You know, anyone else like that? I hope I'm not alone. I don't think I'm alone in that. All right, anyway, those are my tips. I hope they help you out. Let me know what you guys do when you feel overwhelmed in your messy home. Or if you even get your home to a point where it's so messy that you're overwhelmed. I wish I was like that. I used to be like that. But with 3 kids, I fold the towel over my head, you know what I mean? I just lay there in the dark and I'm like, whatever. All right, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you next time. Make sure to go check out Becky's channel too, because she's awesome.
Winnie the Pooh says, people say nothing is impossible, but I do nothing every day.
Wentworth, that camera costs more than your life. Oh, what'd you say, cheese?